All right. Let's get this started in here. Let's get going and doing a few things. Need a pause. All right, let's see how this is going and the output quality and all that jazz. We currently have a Delgado capture card because I decided that the cheap thing I had previously, which was an HDMI to webcam input, it wasn't really sufficient for game captures, and I need to be doing dual computer setups for a lot of other things, including over on the QPunks channel. I have plans on doing more videos like the one I just released, talking about making the game of development and making games. And if I'm going to record the game quality in the best possible way to basically sell myself as somebody who can make a game, I'm going to need to be able to record that. I'm trying to think of the best way to put it. I'm going to need to be able to record my gameplay uninterrupted in the best quality possible. However, with the way things are, it's what should we call it? Not sorry, I'm doing too many things at once, but yeah. The previous video had some frame rate issues, so I bought a capture card and hopefully it fixes those frame rate issues. And part of that, in order to get it to fix right, I need to basically figure out good OBS settings. Now, for Delgado itself, Delgado has its own proprietary, recording software off its capture card, which is great. That's fantastic. However, if I'm going to be doing streaming stuff, because sometimes it actually makes more sense to stream out content, things they're working on rather than recording it. It's weird. It's a weird production thing, but yeah. We have a currently lower bitrate than recommended. Good OBS settings. Now for great communication errors occurred. Anyway, I'm currently in the Discord server for this the thingamajig. Let's get on to voice chat now. So I'm currently in the Discord server. Let's do a battle arena. Actually, let's start one. Let's create an arena. One. There we go. Create arena, or actually cancel. Hello, Evan.
I'm here to play Smash.
Cool. I'm going. I'll get the arena set up and drop the password and name in the chat. Let's see.
All right, let me get on Smash. Here, give me a second.
All right, school. Okay, and password. Cool. Okay, hopefully we're gonna get some epic gameplay today, boys. Actually, funny enough, it seems like there's actually more decent stream activity than I've gotten in the past for some of this stuff. Hopefully it will be worthwhile.
Let's get some nice, crisp gameplay.
Yeah. So how has things been going, Evan?
Good. I haven't been playing Smash much. I usually only play with cousins, but I've been playing Diamond and Pearl, trying to shiny hunt the starter.
Would you recommend the remakes? Because I was like, I played Pokemon Pearl a lot. That's like the version I got the most into.
Honestly, I haven't played much of the game, but it looks good. Controls good.
That's good.
My friends have gotten the game. They say it's very fun.
All right. Yeah. Oh, okay. Weird audio peaks right there. Let's see. Should probably properties. Who is ye?
Oh, someone else is here.
Hello.
Right.
Hi, Evan.
Alright, I'm going right now.
Hold on.
I just gotta get this encounter over so I can get on Smash. Would be pretty crazy if the last one was shiny though.
Let's see. All right. So hopefully that hopefully that works with got everything set up there. Cool. And then I need to check the stream to see how that's all doing.
There any delayers? All good.
All right. That's good. Should probably check the chat and actually check the viewing page too because not looked at that. Everything's set up there. Yeah, I think at worst, things are coming in at a little bit below bit rate, but yeah, if they're a little bit lower than given
So
my
you've been playing
history.
those games or work?
Oh, work. Just released the first video game I coded. Yeah. Do you keep up with the Keypunk stuff or not really?
Is this a Friends Arena or?
It's I dropped it into chat. The ID and all that.
No, and your audio's glitching out. Let me come back.
Still glitching?
Is this I should be able to hear you more clearly now.
All right. Yeah, I dropped the ID and the password into chat. It should be a standard one. I don't think I did a friends only one.
Yeah, I'm gonna do an at. Oh, is there still matchmaking?
I don't know. It's like if you mean like the Discord role?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I didn't. I think it's still there. Yeah, the Discord is being kind of changed to be more general than just gaming only specifically. So that's the reason why some of the stuff got changed around.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, okay. Matchmaking is still there. turn my camera
Let's see. Let's check the stream to see if everything's working.
on? Is it late where you're at?
A little bit. It's 9 o'clock, but it's been a long day.
Yeah, I get that.
Yep.
Right now it's 7:11 where I am.
Yeah.
Ooh, I think someone might be joining. Yeah,
Pajango, the card is a HD 60S Plus. Went with that one because it was only a couple bucks more than the standard, the non plus model. And the non plus model is, I figured just getting it this version, like the card should last me for a while and I don't have to worry about anything. And if I went with the USB type of capture card as opposed to the other two options because recording directly on the SD card, I don't know what your streaming options are on that one, but it also is like definitively the more expensive option. And I also chose not to plug it directly into my tower because I wanted to be able to use the stuff with my laptops pretty flexibly. Plus, my tower arguably is a lot less reliable of a machine than my
do that.
than my others. Let's see. Let's see. Call seems like it dropped with Evan.
Damn.
You ain't got a side special me today.
Oh, I shouldn't have taunted. Make it back.
Ah, darn it.
Alright, the taunt was warranted. No! I barely missed it. I'm trying to play more lightweight characters. Because they do more damage. Oh shit. Something I don't like with Squirtle. Because he may not get damage, but if he gets hit with a really high attacking move, it moves him farther across the stage.
The thing is, it's the biggest issue with Squirtle is how risky his side special really is as an attack.
Yeah, really, it's meant to throw off your opponent, or at least that's what I think of it as.
Yeah, I should probably try playing Pokemon Trainer next match. I haven't played them in yesterday was the first time I played them in a while, and I forgot how fun Squirtle is as a character. I'm not really big on Charizard, but I really do like Squirtle and Ivysaur as characters.
Yeah, I mostly switch to Charizard when I'm at high damage, since he's more hard knockout than the rest.
Come on.
Oh, barely. Oh. Well, at least it's better than last time.
Yeah. Now let's check to see how that capture card has been performing on this to see if it's going to be stinky or not. And I have an ad because the app is terrible. I mean, it seems like it seems like I'm getting decent results with kind of the whole entire thing, even if the bit rate's kind of a little all over the place. My big issue with my tower is that um I have a NVIDIA card and an Intel card, but but like a lot of times just compatibility things default over to the Intel card over NVIDIA, and that's not good because like one is definitely faster than the other. So try and get OBS to run and use the GP not the weaker GPU is a bit frustrating because it's not compatible with the higher end one. I can't figure out to get it right. Alright.
Oh, goddamn.
Hmm.
Dang, you're pretty good with Sonic.
Yeah, I haven't kept up with him in a good bit, but for a while he was my main.
Yeah, I used to main K-Roll, but he got he wasn't fun to play anymore. So I started branching into different characters like Wario or Wolf.
Yeah, Wario is another character because I did random with Callan yesterday. And when we were doing all the random matches, it was I did get Wario, and I forgot how fun he was to play as. Also, you know, it was fun. Kind of frustrating Caleb on the other end too with him.
Oh, that was close. Oh no, I hate that. I didn't even have any health.
Why didn't I do the wall jump?
I was about to say, how'd you not make that back?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I shouldn't be saying anything, should I?
Yeah. Maybe the collision. I don't know the collision properties on the stage, but maybe the ledges are a little weird.
Ah, let's go. Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. Man, I love his back air. Don't fail me now, heavies. Is Wario even a heavy?
I think he's kind of more mid-range. He's definitely heavier than Mario, but maybe he would be considered heavy, but not super heavy. Like Bowser's definitely a heavier character.
Yeah, because I was having this discussion with my friends, and they're like, yeah, heavy's like Wario, Ganondorf. And I'm like, Wario?
Wario is definitely not in the same league of heavy as Ganondorf. If Ganondorf is like kind of the standard heavy.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right. He is more mid-range.
Yeah.
I think he'd kind of be classified in the same league as like Incineroar or another one.
I'd argue Ike is a heavier character than Wario.
Yeah, he probably. I don't play much Super Fighters, but I like Roy, Crom, Lucina's pretty fun.
Yeah, I like I mean I like a lot of the Sword Fire characters. I'm one of the few people that doesn't really complain when they added another one to the game. Like even though Pyra and Mithra, literally the only thing that made them really unique as characters was the fact that we got another character that had a Sheik Zelda style, you know, switch, and the only other character to have that in the Ultimate is Pokemon Trainer. So while that's the one thing that makes Pyra and Mithra unique. Everything else about them is pretty front of the mill, but still
Oh,
fun.
that could have saved me. I'm gonna go for it. No.
And then
Uh,
Hey, where'd Evan go?
and he's still in the match, but yeah, I guess his voice dropped.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. He's just trying to get me with this in a hurry. Doing our bet rate check. Doing our bet rate check. I mean, it's not the worst quality in the world, but it's fine. I think YouTube is just being a little ridiculous. Silence. A very silent stream. I need a. Oh, you know what? Since I have the Delgado, actually, I need to set up side chaining, side chain compression. Which, if you guys want to know audio nerd stuff, let me tell you about side chain compression. Side chain compression is the thingamajig that lets you on when you're broadcasting something and you're talking, and then there's audio music that's automatically lowers in volume to make room for the other person to be able to talk. like the background music's normal volume and then all of a sudden it goes quiet. That's like, something that's called sidechain compression, where it compresses the audio in relation to another sound's decibel levels. It's probably, yeah, actually I'm going to try to set that up after this match. Never really set it up prior because I didn't really need to, because every other recording device I use never really transmitted the audio to, but hey, come on. Really, that counts as the grab? There you go. Call this reading Rainbow because I read you like a book. Alright. And that didn't kill, but that one will. Alright. Let's do the sidechain compression now. So, oh no, that's not right. All right, let's do this. So, filters, audio filters, compressor, sidechain or ducking. Seems like I can't have it just sidechain for both things. If it was just me, it would be easier to set it up, but it only gives you a sidechain for a singular channel. Oh.
Hey, could you make it so more people can join the arena? Because I'm trying to join.
Okay, yeah, I'll after this next match, I'll shut down this one and just set one, set before player team battle one.
No, you don't have to shut it down. You can change the rules, right? While you're still in the arena.
Can you change the number of players, too, or is it just I mean, like, can you change to team battle and all that stuff in the arena still, or is it just only player number?
I don't know.
Hold on, don't tag me. Repeat that.
Are you able to change to different game types as well as like make it team battle, or can it only just be the amount of the people that can be in at once?
I think it could be both.
Okay, yeah, that's something that that must have been added in an update because Vanilla Ultimate didn't have that.
Oh, Ultimate.
I can't believe that last game, at the last part, I survived that, and instead of using the gift of survival, I did the same thing.
Yeah.
And I died to it again.
Yeah. Sonic has only got one kill move. That's good, and that's it. I mean, up smash is fine, but it's not as reliable and fast.
I keep thinking I have another jump when I never do. Alright, this is unacceptable. I can't get 3 stock.
Evan.
Let me do that. No. Okay. No 3 stock. Aw, come on. There we go. Today.
Today, what? Okay. Beast.
And there goes my life.
All right. Yeah,
Hopefully we can get another person in here so we could do teams.
Yeah. Let's see if I can get everything set up.
Do you guys finish the already?
Yeah, we finished the match.
Oh, were you able to? Are you able to say?
Let's see. You can change the rules, but I do not see any place to change the number of participants.
And
Yeah.
so are you gonna?
Yeah, I'm just gonna shut it down and open it up again.
All right.
You come here for a second.
Let's try to make it that. Team battle. Why more settings? Amount of players. Let's make it 4. All right. And next password is just 1. Great, Marina. Now I have to go in Discord and drop everything. All right, cool.
All right, I'm joining. All right, I'm in.
All right, hold on a second. I need a minute before we start. Yeah, no, it's just why it's. I don't get why it's the thing. It's complaining at me.
I know I am.
How does it feel?
Fuck.
Well,
No.
I should probably pay attention.
I stepped on my controller.
Did snap in half?
All right, let me get in the
really?
arena.
Oh no! I may do that.
All right. 8, 8.
All right. Oh, really? Come get the sack. Oh no. Wait, wrong way. Now, the fun begins. Come here. Don't worry, it's fine. You're safe here. Just come up. Oh, so close. Let's go.
I
This is
honestly
where the
wish
fun begins.
online paid. Am I muted?
I know. It's cutting in and out a little bit, though.
So I can still be heard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh. Alright, come here. Fine, I only want to bore you.
All right. And there you go. All right. All right. Let's do a couple team battles. I think I think I probably have about 5 more games than me.
Wait, how are we gonna do teams with only 3?
Everybody chooses. Gabriel can be on my team, and then if we can both go against you, that sounds fair, right?
Yeah.
You actually did it.
Oh god. I can barely defeat Larnuu. Actually, I don't think I've even defeated you. Alright, Gabriel, what you want to do is when you die, take all of his stocks.
I'm pretty sure team attack is on, by the way.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Just so you know, I already know about stock sharing, so yeah.
Nice. I'd be surprised if I actually won this. Oh! In my mind, I was like, they're never gonna hit that, and they actually hit it.
Amazing.
For once, my smash attack actually hits. Fudge.
With Dr. Mario, if you do your down special and mash it, you can get a little bit more verticality in it. Ah, darn it.
Like this?
Yeah, like that stuff. Like it's like how Luigi does his recover, but it's just not that you don't get as much
Yes.
right in there.
The power. It's too much. Alright, I'm gonna single you out real quick. Don't mind me.
Beautiful stuttering.
no. Barely. Yes, that gave me leverage.
You
And
suck.
I got a kill. Come on, 2 kills, 1 stock, or not.
I know.
I don't think team attack is on.
Yeah, I don't think it is after all.
Come here. Or actually, I have a better idea. Or I do not. Oh,
And of dead.
that happened. You know what? I think you and Gabriel on team might just increase my chances of winning. Oh no!
Why did he do that even?
Oh,
that,
that was not the plan. That
Well,
was
it
most
happened.
definitely not the plan.
That was the plan.
Some might say that was the
But
opposite
it
of the
was
plan.
let's see.
boss, my boss, Rick, Sandy's.
Alright, hold on. Oh, wait.
What? No.
I,
You are me.
Alright. Let's see how this pans out. Whoa!
Dude, why?
What's going on here? Oh no! You're sabotaging me!
yeah, there we go.
No!
Now let's play.
Oh. Oh, stocks are gone.
Dude, this isn't fair.
I think I made it fair.
Wow, man, just wow. No. Screw this, I'm done. Goodbye.
Oh. I guess he won in his heart.
You cheated. Can we just do free for all now?
Yeah, sure.
So, Larnuu, you got any Thanksgiving plans?
I'm going to my cousin's.
Yeah, I'm probably just going to stay home. Don't really have any family members where I live, and haven't been. Probably wouldn't be the smartest thing to do traveling right now, given probably COVID's going to be kicking up this time of the year.
Yeah, bro, right.
Also, he was playing the FNAF.
Alright, now. It ain't me. I swear, sir. I'm in a completely secure location.
Somebody's watching Markiplier Let's Plays right now.
Oh, that's funny. All I've been watching today is the Bob's Burgers rendition of 99 red balloons go by.
Yeah, that's an interesting combination.
Remember, you told me, Evan,
It
where
sure
the
is.
I had a helicopter or whatever it's called on his, where.
Come here.
Yeah, you told me 6th grade, man.
Come on, someone's gonna fall in here. Yes, I was invincible. Oh! Not so invincible, I guess.
Damn it, I'm dead.
Just die already. Please.
Kill him, Evan.
There we go. Suck and cuck. Maybe. No. Okay. Second.
Bazinga.
Blizziga.
So, Evan.
Come on.
Do that.
You wouldn't kill a child, would you? Alright, I stand corrected.
Yep.
Not big.
Yes. No. Yes, I got one hit. And there we go.
Key gang. Key gang.
Oh,
Oh, I haven't. Oh.
by the way, how's shiny hunting in the new Pokemon game going, Evan?
Did you hear the question, Evan, or nah?
What was that?
How's shiny hunting going?
Mom, it cut out. What was the question?
How's shining hunting going?
Oh boy, how is it not going?
You
It's
still shiny hunting?
I mean, I got quarantined because someone next to me in class is sick, so there's plenty of time.
Yeah, I heard. You said it in the group chat.
But yeah, it's going pretty good. I haven't gotten that much encounters. I'm only about like 1,000 or something.
1,000?
And because I'm doing full odds, it's probably gonna take like about 1,000.
And I heard
Have you ever gotten any shinies?
my 2 most recent ones in Sword and Sword is Carkol and Dusclops.
I got the rare shiny Pokemon of them all. I got a shiny Gyarados in Soul Silver. Oof.
Oh my god, it's like 1 in 25 million.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Super duper crazy. You think that's cool? I got it in just plain Crystal.
Did they ever release Crystal on the eShop?
Yeah, I played on an emulator.
I would say no. I'm pretty new to this Pokemon stuff. My first real game was Let's Go.
Amazing.
My first real game was
Yeah, so I'm not really the Pokemon guy per se. I've been thinking about getting a Game Boy Advance. Right now, they're pretty expensive.
Really? I haven't.
Are you serious? Gen 3 games?
Like my entry point in Pokemon was the Fire Red version on GBA.
Oh damn.
Memega. Farga. Oh wait.
Yeah. I could always just go on an emulator, but it just doesn't feel the same.
I feel like for some games, emulators make more sense than others, and Pokemon, I can't ever play Pokemon on an emulator because just psychologically, there's just some part of me being like, well, if I ever wanted to take this, Pikachu into the newest version of the game, I wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, because Pokemon's like it's like a game that you can't just like pirate it because it's got a lot of online features.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people do play Pokemon on their emulators and all that stuff. It's oddly enough.
What if you
Well,
want, like, say you're doing a randomizer or something?
I mean, like,
you're at one stock.
yeah.
No, I think I'll stay here. Oh no. Ah, shit. So, what was your first gaming console?
So my parents owned a Sega Saturn before I was even born, so technically that. But Game Boy Color is probably the first system I had that was my own.
My first console was the Wii
Mine
U.
was the Wii, but of course, who didn't have a Wii?
Yeah.
Everyone and their dog.
And then older games. My dad has a bunch of PS1 games. You know, my dad collects stuff like that. He collects Transformers, old Japanese robots.
Spike.
Have Gex. Is it Gex?
Gex is on the PlayStation 1.
Yeah, Evan, do you have Gex?
Oh yeah, I saw Gex. I was like, that's pretty cool. I should play it. Cause I have the PS3 that lets you play the old games.
Yeah.
Like the fat PS3.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
like, I should probably put that in.
Yeah, I've been
So-
I actually haven't owned any PlayStations at all, but I've been looking online and like the fat PS3 prices are actually pretty good, and I am considering buying one up and just using it
The
to.
fat PS3 was $600 when it first launched.
Yeah, it's like only now it's like not much more than the capture card.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
just
really
grab-
went down. Because those things used to be like 500 now. I know they're expensive.
That's my line.
But really, the only reason I played PS3 and Wii as I was younger is for Skylanders.
Yeah,
Just in case.
I didn't play Skylanders. I thought it was a cool idea, but I just didn't really click with the characters that were in there as much as I did buy a bunch of amiibos to the second Smash did them.
Yeah. Also, just in case you were wondering, Skylanders gives you a pretty good description of how old I am.
Yeah.
You know, that's fine.
Yeah, it's. Well, I mean, Gabriel had said his first system was the Wii U, so that makes me feel kind of ancient. Talking all about how like my first system was the Game Boy Color of all things.
Fun fact: how I got back into Bionicle is I had this random memory of me just chewing on a scroll mouse.
All right.
I was like, "What is that called?" And I looked at it. I was like, "Oh, Bionicle."
Yeah.
Yeah, because I grew up at like the tail end, like 2009.
Yeah.
Hey, Evan.
And even then, I was probably like way younger.
Gabriel is trying to get your attention, Evan.
Uh-huh.
What was your first piece of Pokemon merchandise you owned?
Hold on. Let me try to knock this. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to try to play one-handed while trying to access Discord.
Anyway, yeah, it's just like I think probably I don't know. Like, see, I'm pretty old on this stuff because it's like I was like um
Damn.
yeah, I was like Gen 1 Kanto Pokemon fan as well as also like what got like into Bionicle from like the very first, wave of sets. But at the same time though, I was also like 3 when it happened rather than, 10, so it makes me feel luckily I'm not as ancient as, some other people who, had that entry of early entry or early entry points. But I can't even tell you what's the first Pokemon thing I actually owned. Like it was probably like some Pikachu toy, probably assumingly so. But I can't tell you which one.
Yeah, seeing your old videos, I saw some Pokemon merchandise. I think even a Game Boy SP.
Yeah, I have like I have a Game Boy Advance SP with the backlight. I have the DS Lite, not the DSi or the original DS model, but the Lite model specifically. Um, I'm trying to think of like what are other things that I feel like kind of like very specifically date me. um,
Yeah.
I
One problem. Oh, hold on. I'll let you.
um oh like I
No, I
the
just
main
static.
the main TV console I played the most when I was a kid growing up was the Nintendo 64. Like even when the Wii came out, like I played my 64 more.
Didn't they have like digital emulators you buy off the eShop?
Oh,
Yeah, it's like back then. They had the Virtual Console service rather than the Nintendo Switch Online service. And yeah, it was fine, but I don't know. Like I mean, I'm. It's probably good that I didn't buy a bunch of games on there because I feel like just buying all the games digitally without any backup is not the smartest idea. Like actually, I need like my. At some point, I plan on buying another. Like if I can get a hold of a used copy of Smash Ultimate, I plan on doing that because it does on some level bother me that I only own it digitally. But
Yeah, I always try to buy my games physically.
yeah.
The only like real main title game I have digitally is
Mhm.
Let's Go, but that's only because I bought the special edition.
Yeah, I was like Smash Ultimate came out the same day that like my like my final like I think it was like I forget if it was like if it was I think it was before fall break or winter break. It was one in between the two. Anyway, it was
I believe.
yeah, it was like one of the
Huh.
yeah, point being is like I didn't want to go over and just drive and get no, it was winter break. Now I remember. Yeah,
Sophia, Grandma wants you.
it was winter break. I didn't want to, and I didn't want to. Yeah, and I was tired, and I just wanted to make sure I got the game, so I ordered it digitally the day it came out. Um, yeah, that yeah, man, it's kind of a little disappointing because like I legitimately don't get like too hyped or excited for things like at all, and Smash Bros was like one of the last things that I would actually do that for. So the fact that um, that's not going to be popping up as often in my life is that's going to be a little sad. Like I think literally like I think the only thing
Oh,
that could
hold
probably
on.
get that reaction from me
Coming.
that's still getting stuff made for it, it would probably be Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
But but even then, like I'm not always big on all Dragon Ball stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of Dragon Ball, so I'm not very much of an anime guy. Like I've tried.
Mhm.
Like, I've watched a few episodes of Dragon Ball with my cousin
Mhm.
since he's a big anime fan.
Yeah.
And even my dad, he watches anime, but I just can't. Like, I can get the appeal, but I just can't get into it.
Yeah, it really depends on the types of series. Like I will say for if you want to get into Dragon Ball Z, I would recommend reading the comic over watching the show because the comic is like for something that was a weekly publication. being driven by mostly one guy. It's incredibly solid and has fantastic pacing and art and all that, but the anime definitely is not as polished of a piece. um, and has like a lot of like filler and all that stuff in it. But
Yeah, really.
yeah,
Oh, no, let you continue.
okay, yeah, it's really it's like with anime, like there's definitely like certain things I would recommend, but then there's other things that yeah, I don't know, like even though I kind of have kind of I feel like I'm kind of perceived as like some sort of like massive weave online. Like the amount of anime I actually really do like, it's actually not it's actually a real small number. It's yeah. On top of that too, a lot of the stuff just kind of gets a little too a little too weird for my tastes and all that. But I could recommend a couple of good good movies or shows if but at the same time I also don't want to you know like yeah yeah I don't want to be like, oh yeah, hey, you should watch this thing that's really cool violent bloody thing, because that's kind of I don't know, it just doesn't feel right, an adult guy being like, hey kid, watch all this blood and gore.
Don't worry. Oh,
Yeah.
actually, never mind. Because speaking of the only real two animes I've tried to be like, I should watch anime.
Hmm.
All right, Evangelion, which I think is pretty. I enjoyed it.
I couldn't get into it at all.
Yeah, I get that. I'm more of a monster mecha guy.
Yeah, I don't I it's like yeah, I'm not really as big on giant robots as probably I surprisingly should be, given I like Bionicle so much. But um one of the reasons why I like Bionicle was the fact they were robots but not giant robots. Just I don't know, for some reason when they become big, like for some reasons the narratives tend to um have like certain limitations that prevent me from being as into them. It's weird to describe, but the other thing about it though is that but yeah, no, I didn't really like Ava just because of the fact that it was just too depressing.
Yeah, I can get that sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I felt like Pacific Rim was like basically what Ava should have been.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I think that kind of simplified the genre. Like I saw, what was it the Netflix Pacific Rim? What was it called? Like
I didn't even see it because I heard it was bad.
I thought it was actually pretty good, but you can't really trust my taste. I
Mhm.
hell, I think Skylanders has one of the best game soundtracks. It really goes by personal preference.
Yeah. I haven't heard the Skylanders music. Yeah, I probably should give it a try. Um, like I usually listen to a bunch of game soundtracks because for a lot of what I've been doing for work recently has been doing making soundtracks for games. So I try to listen to as many as possible.
Yeah, that's one of the main things I listen to because I can't really like for music.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't remember any of the songs in it. So I was like, oh, I like this song. It goes away, and then like, what's it called?
Heck, I gotta change my character.
And I'm like, whatever. But game soundtracks, I could probably remember the names better. Plus, I think they're more enjoyable.
I mean, there's like a lot of things, like I won't bore you on the details, but though like I have like a lot of um but yeah, I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. Yeah, no, there's definitely like a lot of music theory elements and that comes with game soundtrack stuff, because it's a really weird composition environment from a songwriting perspective, but it makes it more enjoyable for me, for me to do that sound as opposed to like say like a film score type of sound. Um, because I guess the best way to describe it is if you're writing music for game music, it's all um it's basically you have to figure out how to make it like really
No,
hooky and catchy,
no, don't.
but not to the extent where it gets annoying, wherein it starts repeating. Because and that like all kind of all spawned from the fact that audio in general is just really big in terms of file size. So they were trying to figure out how to, um, you know, more or less not they basically it was all technological limitations that led to the reason why game music ended up being the way it was. Um, but yeah, I'm glad it evolved the way it
Hey
did.
guys, don't attack.
Oh, what was that?
Gabriel needed to go AFK.
Alright. Shit. Alright, well, I guess we're all even. So let's go back.
I'm going to push him aside so we can have room to fight.
Yeah. So I want to
Okay.
go back. So like, what do you do for a living? Because you said something about games. Are you like a designer? Like,
So right now I'm currently involved in a game startup. It's the company's called Kaij Team. That's the reason why the Discord got renamed to Kaij Corner because yeah, this Discord's going to be like the main place for the startup thing. And actually like IDS and Caleb are actually becoming involved in it too, which is kind of cool. But yeah, right now so the studio like it's trying multiple different avenues before like being proper, trying to find should we homie stalk her now?
I'm sure you won't notice.
Even watch
Okay.
the highlight. Game was so bad that I don't want to even watch the highlight.
Anyway, so
You did. Alright, hold on. Let's go back to that. Alright, continue.
oh yeah, so yeah, it's but yeah, it's like basically the it's a startup. So it's a startup company. So it's still kind of in the early stages of getting all put together and all that stuff. But we've made a couple games so far. So like one of them was like a mobile game where and that project, like I did the music composition and mixing and all the audio for that one. For it, and that game was pretty cool because it was made so you could you could play a game and get points in the game, and then you could convert them into coupons for a restaurant. So you basically,
Yeah, I hear that.
yeah. So there's that one, and then also right now, like the main project I'm working on is that Keybunks is being rebooted as more of like a online type like the best way to describe it is it's we're going to be making like just shorter smaller games that could run in browser with community input. So like on this Discord, it's going to be all set up like, hey, if which one of these two ideas would you rather us make, or which one of the two character designs is better for the main character, like that type of stuff. And for those games, I'm going to be much more involved in those ones because like I'm going to be doing like both game design, programming, and also soundtrack stuff, while my brother is going to be doing most of the visual assets.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
What's
Like,
the? Oh, no, let's continue.
I was just going to say, like, we got one of those released recently, which was I have linked in the Discord to like the Newgrounds and Itch page. But anyway, what was your question?
So I was gonna say, what's the new game about? Like, what's the style of it?
So it was it's like a really simple kind of like retro arcadey type game. And the game name of the game is called Vor. It's basically has like a really outrageous title on the internet to get some to get attention on the search results, but the game itself is just like a a simple obstacle game where you're trying to basically you're playing as like this like little snake puppet thing, and you're trying and there's a box that keeps on throwing fruits at you, and you're trying to make sure you eat the good fruits and avoid the bad fruits. So, bit
Alright,
simple.
what I would really like to know is who came up with the name and why.
So it was my brother, and it's a sense of humor to
There you
basically do that type of stuff. Like that whole game, actually, the history behind it. Like I have a whole video on the Keypunk's YouTube channel, talking about nah, about that, and like explaining what's going on with that one. But originally, it was actually a short little side project my brother made in college, and he just thought it would be funny just to get a response out of people, and then when we decided to start doing the stuff with the Keypunks thing, I figured, hey, we have this game here that would be a good test to figure out some technical issues, and actually make it and rebuild the game from the ground up, so it could be something that could run on web browsers rather than be download only.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Like, what are Callan and IDS doing?
So, Callan is going to be involved with more of the like he's going to start getting involved with doing more of like the social media type stuff for it, while IDS is going to be more involved with some of the creative type stuff. Like not like I don't want to give away too much stuff and say too many things, but one of the plans that I want to get set up with him is that there's a pretty simple game idea that would be funny and entertaining, but the main thing that would sell it is basically the graphics in it. So he was going to do like the main illustration for that game. So
That's cool.
yeah, and
Oh no, let's continue.
I was going to say yeah, it's like yeah, and like I think yeah, no, never mind. Anyway, what were we gonna ask?
I was gonna say I like that their jobs fit like their thing, because Callan, he's got a lot of subscribers,
Yeah,
and then IDS is very creative.
yeah. It was actually Callan's suggestion to like he was the one to bring it up first, that to remodel this Discord server to kind of be made for the game startup and make it more generalized. So, but yeah, so he's yeah, still working out like kind of like on all of that type of stuff for like the all the detail stuff, because again, I don't want to say too much for it, but though with the Keypunks project, since the way that thing is set up, like probably those two's involvement is going to increase because of because that's like dealing with all the internet online stuff. Because another thing too is like a lot of the first year of the game company, like while there were some successes, like one of the big things that like a lot of the business models and kind of directions for it changed, and that's a complete cluster. And it's it basically the short story for it was that originally the idea was to focus on local markets primarily over trying to compete directly with like all the online space. And what was decided was smarter was okay, the local market thing is not going to really work out as well. So but there's other alternative methods of doing stuff in the online space, because one of the biggest issues with the game industry is that if you want to get your game played by anybody, you have to pay off big tech more or less. And unless if you have like big money for that, it's that's going to be out of your pockets. And if you do get the big money, then you run into like a lot of issues where you don't really own what you're making, and that sucks. And we don't want to avoid that as much as possible. So a lot of it's kind of a weird situation because like a lot of the company is like set up in a way where it's like if we wanted to make something that would function, we could get it set up right now. But the reason why we are not jumping straight ahead into it, kind of being like from startup phase to proper like full time studio phase, comes down to the fact that really just we yeah we well the company is I'm doing doing it with my dad and my brother. Like those are like those are like the two I mean the three of us are like the main guys on it. And my dad has done creative work before and has had the experience of kind of his stuff getting stolen from him, more or less, because the stuff he was working on was owned by a bigger company. So since he went through that experience, we're trying to avoid that experience as best as possible with this one. So yeah, hopefully that wasn't too boring.
You guys plan? No, it's really cool. I think it's very interesting to see you talk about this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So-
what is it?
Here, continue.
No, you say it.
I was gonna say, do you guys plan on changing the server icon?
Yeah, I chose to keep the server icon same for now, like for the next bit, maybe like the next month or so, because I already changed the name and moved around everything in the Discord so much that if I felt like it changed the server icon, it'd basically alienate everybody in here, kind of defeat the purpose of converting a server, then starting fresh,
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I think what I might end up doing with it is that I might have this set it up so there can be a weekly pool in the server, so that if you want to have the I'm trying to think of the right word for it. It's trying to talk about all this stuff while playing is not the best idea. Anyway, yeah, the idea I want to do is make the server have a voting section, and maybe every month the icon for the server changes, and it's like a voting thing. So maybe have like people post dumb memes, and whatever meme is the funniest gets put as the icon or something like that.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So, do you guys plan to stay strictly online or go to like the system markets like the Switch on the eShop?
So for platforms, I would love to do like console type stuff on there. It really depends on like the type of project and the trajectory for it, because there's so like if one avenue ends up going a specific way where it's like the yeah, it would make more sense to stick with PC gaming. But though, if something like like Q-Punks, for example, like one of the basically the end goal with Q-Punks is to have multiple short browser games made that are pretty good games, and then whichever one actually gets some traction with people, and it kind of gets like some sort of audience. Can set up a Kickstarter for it, similar to what Friday Night Funkin' did recently. If you've heard about that one.
Yeah, I heard they're going to console.
Yeah, they're they originally started off as just like a single level game jam type of thing, but they started expanding it, and then they made it into a full thing. So there's a couple of game ideas that we want to make that would be more or less like we're just building demos and nothing else. And then if the demo does well and gets traction behind it, then we would try to do crowdfunding and then get it put on other platforms. I would love to have a game on Switch. Um, and with the game engine that we're working with called Godot, it's that game engine is a really good one. It's definitely it's newer, so it has some rough corners around it. But one of the things that is great about it is that if you want to make different ports of the game, it's a lot easier to do. It's like almost as easy as just exporting something in a different file format rather than something like uh, then in something like Game Maker or Unity, like those engines, like you have to you have to do like some extra work beyond the game itself to make it sure it's right for those systems. But like a good example with Godot is that if you want to make the game for both desktop and mobile, you can have touchscreen buttons on your on the game, and you can program it so the touchscreen buttons are just in all the levels. And then when you export the file, like the engine's smart enough to know, okay, so this platform is a platform that uses buttons. Don't put the touchscreen buttons on the game. Oh, this is a platform that it doesn't have buttons on it. Okay, put the touchscreen buttons on it.
Let me see.
Yeah.
So with all this work on the on QPunks and Discord, are you gonna have any time to post on Larnuu Works?
Nah, it's like really like the Larnuu, it's like probably like I didn't want to do too much stuff with Larnuu really because it kind of whenever I did anything Larnuu related, this like even the stream is kind of a good example. Like if it's not explicitly Bionicle, people who subscribe to that channel are inherently they're just not going to watch it as much. So it feels right to only limit this stuff to Bionicle stuff. And Bionicle at this point now, when I was like a teenager doing Gakuen and Rio and all that stuff, that was at that point in time I didn't have anything else going on, so that was like my full-time passion project, as I would put it. But for all this other things, it's like if I do a Bionicle thing, it'd probably be like a 30-second animation at most. It wouldn't. I don't really have like plans for like a whole series thingamajig. Like even like in recent time too, whenever I had like a inkling to do a Bionicle related thing, like I mean I did do an animation that was just uploaded to Caleb's channel instead of my own because it's like you just get more views. No one would like, so I'll just put it on there. Which I mean, it's like I mean, I don't want to be like, oh yeah, no, I have no involvement with Bionicle and all that stuff, but it's realistically, if I want to do something, if I actually want to be do something for real, I can't just stick around doing fan stuff all day. Yeah, I mean, it would be cool to do it more often, but yeah, at this point in time, it's just not enough hours in the day.
Yeah, I totally understand that, man.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, fans are just like a side thing because you gotta work on your passion,
Yeah. Yeah, and there's like a lot of things too that like carry over to like like I have multiple projects like in development, and like quite a few of them like have like take elements from Bionicle from to do it like it like a lot of like Bionicle motifs made it into some games that and then also well, there's also like a another like sci-fi fantasy story thing too. My brother is working on that does take take a lot of Bionicle inspirations, but also goes in a separate direction with it too. So varying degrees of Bionicle inspiration is going into the original stuff, and then on top of that too, I want to try to make a Gakanaria video game at some point for like the browser stuff on CubePunks. So, like, and yeah, I mean, also like I would have to get the details all worked out with ideas too, but like like his own Apex series as well. Like I would love to have like something like a browser game made using his characters or something because I think it would be hilarious. So
Yeah, that'll be fun. My only real experiences with browser games and that type of stuff is like the Snake game on Google.
yeah, it's I think they're gonna come back in a sense. Like the reason why I chose to use that format was well, it was multiple things. One is um so if you make in a weird way on the internet, the way that things like YouTube works, it seems like people much like YouTube as a platform, not people like yeah, that's the wrong phrase for it, but it's YouTube rewards the YouTube rewards people talking about stuff that's made rather than people who try to go out and make stuff. A good example being if somebody makes a video talking about um, how a 2D animation was made rather than actually just making a 2D animation, how the thing is made is going to get more traction than the actual thing that was than if you just went out there and just made a thing blind or anything like that. A good example being on CubePunks. I made a video talking about making a low polygon 3D model, and that outperformed like like one of my like an original Gakanaria short I did on the channel. So if I wanted, so I figured, okay, so I need to actually make stuff because I'm just not going to talk about something somebody else made all day, but I need to figure out how to frame my own stuff in that context. So then, so having a series of videos talking about me making crazy games, well, that would work, and that's proven to work with certain YouTube channels like Michael Reeves or I forget, but there's a guy who made like a Mario Battle Royale game that got DMCA'd by Nintendo. Did you ever see that one?
Are you talking about Mario with a gun?
It's not Mario with a gun. It was like it's I forget the guy's name right now. It's something Inferno. It's like the guy's done like other crazy things too. Like he's made like Halo but cursed, and he's like made like this super big overhaul mod. Sorry, super is this big super overhaul mod that that does things like makes warthogs that are limos, or like warthogs that are like power wheels, like those like cars that like 5-year-olds drive around in, like that type of stuff, or a pistol that faces the wrong way so it only headshots yourself and nothing else, and it's just a really stupid he does that, and he just builds really stupid
Oh,
mods in a game, but he talks about making them, and it's entertaining, and it would do a lot better than if he just like him just frame the way he framed his creation was a lot more successful than releasing a trailer for his mod and then trying to get talk about his mod on Twitter or something like that.
right.
So it's CubePunks basically is trying to figure out how you can make games that works within a quote unquote online influencer, social media, whatever you want to call it, type space. And the way that worked, it seemed like, would be if you had video games that were coming out on a regular basis. Okay, well, the only option that you have on that one is like either mobile games or desktop browser games. And if it's desktop browser games, it can come out a little bit quicker, and So honestly, put a YouTube channel of I make mobile games. Like you're gonna be like, cool, okay, I don't care. Oh, I make a video game that you can actually play with a proper Nintendo controller, on your computer. Yeah, that's gonna get some attention. People are like, oh, I might actually try that out. So, um,
Right.
having it and what's good about putting things on browser is that if even if it's a situation where somebody watches the video and it's like, oh, that game seems cool, I'll play it for like literally 5 seconds. Well, guess what? You can just Google the page, just look at it, and then you can just play it for a couple minutes, and then you can just close the browser page. It's a lot smaller commitment than downloading a whole exe file and trying to get that running on your computer and all that. Um, it's just a lot more condensed and all that stuff. So, um, which is cool. And on top of that, too, the again, kind of going back to the game engine thing too. Certain people like who are like in the game development type spaces, they will more or less shout out or use your products as an example for things if you make stuff that's of decent quality with them, or if something gets traction, you can you basically have a game that can kind of be a poster child for that platform. So you make a good Unity game, Unity will use it will show your game in and advertisements are all on their website of examples of games made with their platform. Um, so I figured, hey, so this game engine I'm using, a lot of people don't really know that you can just make browser games with it, and there's not too many examples of games made inside the engine itself. So there's an opportunity where even if a bigger game comes along, I doubt that it's going to be a browser game. So basically, I can kind of have the market cornered on being the guy who makes the browser games on the platform. And that's
Right.
actually seemed to work pretty decently because on the Discord server for the game project, people actually were talking about it, and they got uh you know it got a little bit of traction because of its kind of it's, for lack of a better term, developmental novelty.
Right.
Yeah.
So for your games, are you guys like sticking to a specific genre, or you just want to try stuff out, see what
Um.
sticks?
So I really just making games that are fun would be the big thing. Like that. I'm not really too restricted on genre, but more so restricted on personal tastes. But like the one big I just technical restriction I would say is that making a game that in 3D is something that I just don't want to really commit to. Like I want to make sure I can understand get like at very least an intermediate level of game programming for uh, for two-dimensional games, and then maybe then transition into doing a 3D title. But
Right, because if you do a 3D model wrong, all they're gonna talk about is, oh man, these 3D models they suck.
yeah,
But like with a sprite game, it's like you can't really mess up sprites.
yeah, sprites are interesting because of the fact that if you're somebody who actually makes them, those artists are complete snobs when it comes to sprites, to an unfair degree. But then when you actually get to people who don't know it, I mean, you have stuff I mean, it's kind of like a joke around the artist circles right now, but most of the NFTs that are coming out that are pixel art are not good pixel art. So,
Right.
but they're no, but they're selling for millions because the people who are buying them aren't really as tuned in on what is quality with those things. So it's interesting. It really gets I could I could probably talk ad nauseum about pixel art and all that stuff, um but yeah, I mean, one thing that's actually weird is that before even doing Bionicle stuff's actually my earliest online presence was actually on a Super Mario Brothers fan game website.
Really?
Yeah, and it's my brother and I we um there's this old game engine that was called Game Maker, and like my brother was learning how to use it, and like he and I would just do pixel art on that thing, and it was like, I mean, it's not the best pixel art in the world. It's actually, I would like my brother nowadays, like he's like a lot better at like, you know, the Super Service game, like the sprites he did on that thing, like are you know, he has like some other pixel art like it too. It's he's it's kind of a little surreal how, yeah, how proficient he is at that specific art style. But for um and like for me, like, I was just, well, I mean, like both of us, like we were, it's like we got all right at it. It's like for like little kids, but it's nothing too but yeah, when we were kids, like I don't think there's really anything worth to note that we really did like when we were on the Mario Fan Games forum, like. But that's but it's kind of funny thinking about how things are kind of coming around in full circle again too. How they were. But yeah, but anyway, yeah, back to making the games though. Like, actually, for the current progress, like I'm actually trying to do a Streets of Rage beat 'em up style game. Like that's the next one, and actually have like a quick, like, like little day, like first days of work demo tossed in like the Discord for the Keypunks thing.
Yeah, beat 'em ups have to be one of my favorite genres.
Yeah,
I like
Streets of Rage 4 was really good. Did you play Streets of Rage 4?
I play with my cousin, but I haven't really done beat 'em ups that much. Like I've played Streets of Rage, but not the fourth one.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say definitely pick up the fourth one. Like I've played a little bit of, I think, all of them. I can't remember if I've touched 3 or not, but though 4 though is yeah, everything about that game, I was like, oh, I need to make something just as good as this at some point in my life.
Oh no, almost went fatal. Dang, it must be like 11 where you are.
Nah, it's only 10:38. It should be 11 though, at daylight savings times.
All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to stay a little bit longer because I did get a message from Caleb saying that he's should be hopping in, but though he's he's hanging out with his cousin right now, so I'm not sure if that will work out. But yeah, but there's there like I would say the two ones that are definitely being worked on. There's one that's a beat 'em up game, and then the other one's a multiplayer competitive platformer game. And that one, the artwork is being done for that one. That's actually going to be hand drawn animation rather than um, than pixel art like the no like our other games have been so far. So it's going to be cool to get a different style in there. That's definitely like one thing that we're going to try to do with this studio too, is like try to get like a bit of visual variety in there, because well, some people, they kind of stick with like one visual aesthetic, but too much for their things. But if you break up the visual look enough, it makes it sticks out in your head more, and it reminds you, oh yeah, these people actually have a lot going on, not just, oh yeah, it's just that one thing that blurs in with the other thing.
Yeah, speaking of a style, who's in charge of character design?
So depending on, it depends on the project. My brother and I both collaborate a lot of times with visual stuff, and IDS does too. But usually, like in terms of final say, I would say right now, Kai is like the the visual art guy. That's like his main department, domain, whatever, is it is the character things there. So a good example is like the platformer game that's being worked on. like I had concept sketches that I did on my notebook, and I sent them over to Kai to work on, but Kai didn't. I had these ideas, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is kind of what I was thinking. And then Kai took those things, and then he did his design tweaks to them, and then uh, and after he did some drafts on it, then he had the final, he made the final design for the characters. So like it's like, okay, I want a character that kind of has um, it's like the main characters of the game, and I wanted them to be kind of like Mexican gangster skeletons. So I drew a couple concepts of that, and then Kai took that idea and then did some more iterations on it, and then he you know uh, you know he I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. Basically, he took the sketches and then he moved them towards something else. So there's like a couple other things that now that's not going to be like the case for like all the projects, but like for like right now, that's like kind of like the pattern that things are getting into right now. Yeah. Yeah, it's like what's actually like one thing about it is it's like the amount that the both of us draw like in our sketchbooks and all that stuff. It's a lot, but the amount of stuff that's actually been published online is like I really don't know why I just have a bad habit of forgetting to do art posts on things like Instagram and all that, but probably should start doing that more often.
I like how this stream has basically just been a Q&A.
Yeah, more or less. Not a very good Q&A though, because I keep on going because my brain is my brain constantly is having I'm trying to think of the right term for it. It's like
you're doing it right now.
Yeah, it's stuttering because listen, like a computer where you can only do one process at one time, the brain works the same way. No.
Yeah, and you were unprepared for these questions.
Yeah, but if I wasn't playing the game, if I just put the controller down and answered them, I could answer all of this stuff much more gracefully. So I feel a little bit like an idiot, but oh well. But yeah, no, it's there's I don't know if I will ever end up doing like the visual drawing for games. Like I'll probably end up doing like some 3D animation for them, because even though making the games, all the games will be 2D, I might do some pre-rendered 3D stuff like Donkey Kong Country or something like that. Because there's a lot of I spent a good chunk of like the two main things I learned how to do during COVID was I got introduced to game programming, and then before that I got to like I would say maybe like late beginner, early intermediate level of Blender. So I can make certain things look pretty decent, but I don't. But I have some gaps in my knowledge there. But it's good enough that if I need to learn how to do something, I can learn it for the project. But so there's like a couple things for it that a couple ideas, like either environmental modeling, just making backgrounds in 3D, or a couple characters for it. But the problem with doing 3D character stuff is, while you can animate a character really fast in 3D, all the work that goes into making sure the characters are rigged up correctly is a lot. And with for most art styles, it's just the amount of resources it goes into doing that. I'm not sure exactly is the most efficient for kind of like a 2 to 3 man team for a project. It would probably if And that's and again, one of the reasons why doing 3D would
with
be
it.
a later thing, because if I wanted to make a 3D game that was up to this the quality standards I would want it to be, first off is like just kind of in terms of artistic tastes, I don't really like a lot of I wouldn't want to just go on to like Unity Asset Store and just download somebody's pre-made stuff, because a lot of that kind of it doesn't really have much of an identity to it if you just kind of do that bland feeling of realism. It's it feels like basically every other 3D indie game. So
Right. So
yeah,
to
so
my
I would try to so like if you want to make something stylized, it takes a lot of work to do it though, and you have to build everything from scratch basically if you want to make it look good.
right. So to my knowledge, you went to college or are in college.
I went to college. I graduated. I don't know. It's between COVID and all that stuff not really being important for me to keep track of anymore. I forget if it's like 2 or coming up to 3 years now.
Have any of the classes helped you in your with your games?
So I went to college for film production actually, and funny enough, I thought that was kind of going to be the trajectory of where I was going. I'd probably like for what I was planning on doing after college was basically trying to work my way in, and see if I could get into like basically do like get into like a position like a storyboard artist type position on like a Netflix type series. Would have been like the idea, and then try to get an original show made. But that didn't really necessarily pan out for a number of reasons. And I ultimately decided that if I would just be more creatively fulfilled and actually have better better chances of actually making something that people would care about if I went about with video games as a medium. Even then too, if I did make it, if I ever did make a TV show, I mean, like the amount of video game influence that would probably go into it too is just like completely, it would be pretty ridiculous. So it's kind of funny. It's like kind of like it's if I could have done things with hindsight, I would have probably been getting into the video game thing sooner than later. But oh well, but yeah, on the college question though, what's weird about it is that so a lot of what I've learned about making filmmaking stuff has translated over to being like filmmaking and animation helps out a lot with video games quite a bit. Because I mean, well, number one is with the startup stuff, the amount of times I actually need to sit down and edit a video for kind of something like promotional related or relating towards one of the products. Like I use Adobe Premiere, pretty regularly for work, but um, but the but though trying to think of the best way to put it. So I use that pretty regularly for work, and understanding how animation works is really important for things like a beat 'em up game, like trying to get like if you know how to control things like how an animator would control things, you don't have to do as much programming. More is kind of like put into simplest terms, but so what I've been doing all this time has helped me out. What I was doing when I was a teenager is definitely translated over to helping me now. What I necessarily learned in college, though, I'm not necessarily sure because, well, I don't really necessarily feel like I learned a whole lot when I was in film school. Like a lot of the classes, like uh, the whole program was it's set up in a way where it's like, oh, you've never touched a film camera in your life. No, let's learn how to start making movies and all that stuff. So, because most people in the department and the way things were phrased was, people who literally didn't even know what, like, even basically, it was made for people, and like a lot of the people never even touched iMovie before, or Windows Movie Maker, or some, or whatever the kids nowadays are using as an equivalent, you know. So it's so on that front, like I was kind of like oddly ahead of most of my class and kind of stayed that way. And I don't, I'm not trying to say that as kind of like an egotistical type of, responsive, like, oh, look how much better I am than everybody. But it was true. You know, um, there was a lot of that going on. And then the few things that I actually did learn that I didn't know about, like a good example being like, things like, admittedly when I was doing Gakuen and Rio, like I didn't really care what an f-stop was, but then after that point I was like, oh yeah, no, I should probably care about what f-stops are. But um but like all the resources that I used to learn how to make an f-stop was stuff that was like online based and things that I did on my extra research time, not really necessarily things that um and not something that like I learned that much in the classroom. So if I wanted to be, so like on some level, part of me is like, if what college did was basically, start saying like, oh yeah, these are some questions. I don't know. I really hate when Sora Side Special just auto targets and screws you over like that. Anyway,
All right.
but yeah, so yeah, so college definitely like it's good in the sense of like, oh yeah, you should, like here's things that you should probably know about, but from my experience, professors, like the professors I had never kind of more so said, hey, you should probably look into that. And for all subjects actually that I studied in, and there be it, pertaining to my degree, my minor, or just, general studies that were required. Uh, it, they they tell you to check out stuff, but they don't really teach you. You're gonna have to learn yourself, and the resources that you can learn with nowadays are mostly online resources. Most books are, their information that they have in them are stuff that you already have, available on the internet. The only reason why you would buy a book is because you got an open book test for a class and you need and you need to get the answers from it. Like that's like it's like that or that's like the main reason why you would read a textbook. For from my experience, that's the main reason why I would read a textbook um, for a film production class specifically. And like on YouTube, there's like so many film geeks and camera geeks and lighting, just like everybody out there that they'll tell you what you should be doing to figure out how to do all this stuff, and in practice, we'll get you there. So. Now, on the other hand, it's like Well, also another thing too is it's like it really depends on But out of curiosity, like, are you like about headed to college or like what's or what's up with that?
All right. So one of the big questions: did you enjoy your time at college?
The answer is a resounding hell no. It was the worst mental state I was in my entire life.
Yikes!
Yeah.
Didn't even make any.
What did you ask?
I said, did you make any friends?
Not long-lasting friendships.
Yikes!
Yeah. I mean, I went to college the entire experience, and now I went with my brother, and we both went through the same film program, and we were roommates the entire time. So I got closer to my brother during the whole experience. But
Oh, that's good.
yeah, so that's like the positive. But as far as like as far as like anybody I talked to outside of college, nah, kind of. So the thing is, it's you know, basically, I yeah, uh So I think it's safe to say like because you've watched enough probably of Colin's stuff that that when I loosen up when I'm around people I'm goofing off basically I tend to be and I'm not you know being more serious kind of like this conversation where I'm being taking just not making a bunch of jokes and all that stuff. Um, Most of the time, like I tend to have, a yeah, I goof off and all that stuff, but my sense of humor is also really stupid. So, I
Isn't
ca
everyone's sense of humor really stupid?
yeah, but I'm like particularly comfortably dumb about myself is a good way to describe it. And my point being is and I don't mean this in like the pejorative sense, but like most people thought in call like my film department that like I was autistic or something because
Oh my
because I
god.
was because well I don't like using the term eccentricities because that makes because it's kind of cringy when somebody describes themselves as eccentric, but in an objective sense, that's the that word is a good it has a good definition that's applicable to it. But yeah, so um, those eccentricities kind of clashed with certain things, and then when I performed well on an assignment because I was like, it was me, my brother, and then like another student were the best performing in the class. Like we had like good paper, we did good essays, we did. When we actually needed to present a project, we actually had a project that was worth watching, like all that type of stuff. And as my brother described it, I broke a couple people's like I mentally broke a couple people like
Oh my goodness.
because they thought like, oh yeah, this is the autistic guy, and then all of a sudden I'd be the person with the most like you know like there was like one semester where everybody like was um you had two semesters to complete a film, and most people didn't get that far with on the first semester. Like some people didn't even work on their film the entire first semester of it. But at the end of the semester, when you were supposed to show off on what you had, it was like, okay, yeah, sure. And it was the original like I did a cartoon reboot pilot for Gak and Rio, and that's what I was making. So it's like, okay, yeah, so I'm not doing a movie. I'm doing an animation. I'm doing all the music. I'm doing voice acting in it. Here's an animatic for the sequence I have so far with voice acting in it and some sound effects. And when I presented that in the class, you know, uh, like I wasn't there, but my brother describes it as like there's one guy in the class that kind of had an ego and thought he was better than everybody else, but even though he didn't do anything like everybody else, and apparently like he was having a panic attack in the hallways because like Cage of all people was like like you know like I was the one that actually made and had his stuff made of all people. It was the well, as he would put it, the retard.
So is that what the Gakko and Rio reboot was?
Yeah, it started off as like the college thing, and I wanted to expand it more as a web series thing, and I did a couple of them, and I was planning on doing more. It's funny because before I got involved with the whole game stuff, like I was gonna go more heavy on the Keypunks output, but uh, it's like it took a little bit longer, and the direction changed before that's happening. But I want to do. I'm trying to think about it. So, like, I do want to definitely expand that continuity for Gakkenria and make it a proper thing. But as I said before, it would probably be like in the context of a video game. Like, I do have a concept that I do want to experiment with after I do this first beat 'em up game. I want to try to do I want to try to do another one in the genre that where its core mechanic would be kind of like a tag team type system in it, and see like how you could do a tag team beat 'em up because I don't think I've ever seen one before.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
Yeah. So yeah, and when I was thinking of that concept, it was like, oh, that's in terms of the genre, in terms of the mechanic, that's just a perfect fit for Gakken and Rio. So I should probably make that with them. But first I need to learn how to do a beat 'em up character, and and then I would have, and then the sequel thing would be making two characters that could tag out. But yeah, there's like other things too, like the trajectory for like how the QPunks browser games are going to go is that basically I need to build up my power level for programming and game design stuff. But I if I try to sit down and just learn how to make a video game without the context of actually trying to make one, I just don't learn it. I don't retain anything. So for me, like the best learning is doing. So that's one of the reasons. That's another reason why we're it's like just being a bunch of browser games, because I'm like, if I just make a bunch of small things, then then it will force me to learn how to make those things that work, and they're uh, conceivable goals, and then I can just like do it and then move on to the next thing, and then just keep on doing it. Because one of the things that stumps a lot of people with like programming in general is they're always they always want to make the thing, but then they also want to perfect it, and they always want to get the file size smaller, or they're like, oh, I'm not sure if 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 this like minor thing is perfect or not. And on one hand, it's definitely good to not be hasty on things, but as I've learned kind of in my life, like one of the things that like doing YouTube stuff and paying attention to YouTube taught me is the world doesn't like the world rewards quality, but it does not reward perfectionism.
Right.
Because like there's people out there that like they've spent 5 years making a video game, but it's like but a lot of those years was they were retreading over their own work. And from the player's perspective, if it's not going to change anything, then you should probably you should you really need to question why you should basically retread. But if it's from a but if it's from a player's perspective, yeah, definitely do it. Like if you like a good example being if like, oh, I need to reprogram how the gravity works in the game because it feels wrong. Jumping just feels off. But if I redo it, then I can make jumping feel nice and silky like Super Mario World. Yeah, definitely retread over your work there. But if it's like, okay, I can make this thing work the same exact way, but though it's like, one way it takes me, like I would have to redo it from scratch, but if I do it, the game becomes 2 MB instead of 3 MB. Like if it's like that type of thing, then that's the point where I'm kind of like, yeah, no, you should just that's what I'm talking about when it's that's the type of perfectionism the world doesn't really reward. Because at the end of the day, I don't think really like 90% of people just really are never going to look at that and would even think of judging you for the fact that you just wrote it like the slightest wrote that thing that way.
Right. So if you had to go back, would you go to a different college or just not go to college at all?
Well, I would still go to college. Like I would now what I would go to college for, I'd probably go for I'd probably go for more of a technical degree than anything else. Like yeah, I'd probably do computer sciences honestly, even though I would hate it because I'm literally the only reason why I'm doing game design and programming, because I really am not a good math guy and I really hate it. But but the only reason why I'm doing it is just because of just the sheer basically just like this the sheer motivation and desire I have to make video games and like design a really good game. Basically led me to being like, okay, if I want to design something, I more or less need to just make the prototype myself, and then I'll be able to and then maybe then I could coordinate a whole team to actually do the final product. But if I'm not actually making some of the stuff myself, then I won't ever get it the exact way I want it to be. Or I'll have to constantly be trying to fuss with other people and try to get somebody to make their stuff, my stuff, for me. and that's just not gonna work out. Like if if anything's ever gonna get done, I got to do it. So then I'm like, okay, if that's the case, then I gotta start making games, and that's just what it came down to. But for but like yeah, it's computer science stuff though in general though. It's like as if it's not in the context of video game mechanics, it tends to it really drags on me. Um so on that part, like I would question on if doing this computer science class thing would actually be the best way for me to learn. But if I did retain the information, then it would definitely be helping me right now.
All right,
Yeah.
I got another question coming at you.
Yeah.
So for like your work environment, do you do mostly all this from like home and you guys are all on call, or are you guys like physically all there?
So every so like half of the people I work with, like are they're remote, and they're like I use Discord all the time, and then the other but then like my family, like my brother and my father, like we're all in the same house, working out of it in our home offices. So
That's good,
yeah.
because with game design and all that, it's better to have it be in person.
Yeah, it's like I definitely think like on like when you're working with an artist like over the internet, it's a little bit easier when it's they're like yeah, it's more up to them to just do their thing. But if it's more programming stuff, like it's trying to get like actually we like one of the projects we worked on actually what like we worked with a team remotely who were in Mexico. To like the development team was in Mexico, and while working with them was great, and really no real issues. One of those more points of adjustment that we had to make was the fact that we since we weren't hovering there with doing the code, it's like, okay, we need to make sure that the gameplay is fine tuned, but we can't just tell them to turn the knobs. So my dad, who luckily is like a huge computer science guy, he was able to be there. So it was the three of what would what ended up happening was near the end of development, like the three of us sat around and basically did the fine tuning for the game after they built like basically the core of the title. So and that was an okay process, but it's admittedly it's not my preferred. Like I'd rather be in a room with everybody, but couldn't really do that because we were making it during a peak COVID time.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, um, yeah. Ideally, like yeah, ideally we when like the studio it gets to the point where it's out of the startup phase and it gets into like proper funding, and it's in full momentum. Um, the like I hopefully we would be in a position where we're working more like we're not working remotely as much, um like it personally for me, like I would love it if shop was if everybody was working in the same place in Florida specifically, because out of any city I've been to in the United States, Miami has been my favorite. So um yeah, I if definitely definitely if if you're when you're when you're 21 and hanging out with friends, I definitely recommend the Miami area. It's it's a good vacation spot. But
Oh yeah, I'm
yeah,
totally 21.
yeah. Hey, what's your favorite booze, man? Anyway, um, but yeah,
Still my trench coat and stilts. I'm
uh,
totally 21.
bruh,
Now here's my ID drawn in crayon.
yeah. it's like the picture for your photograph is it's like it's a Harry Potter sticker. um,
So,
but yeah, what's actually really funny about Caleb is like I've hung out with him multiple times and like uh, like every single time like like I like oftentimes like I'll end up like like I'll end up buying drinks for myself and I'll completely offer him to drink it, but he just doesn't drink at all. So you know uh
he's a good Christian boy.
yeah yeah, which it's kind of I mean it's
Is
I
he a square?
it's what
Is he a square?
Caleb is a very interesting person. Like, like how I describe him to people is like he's both like he has both the heart and mind of a 7-year-old man and a 12-year-old boy simultaneously. And I can't, and it's always been it's always a consistent source of confusion. And I feel like Caleb would say very similar things about me about how I'm a consistently confusing person to him. But yeah, it's like like it's like some of the things that he says and his mannerisms, he'll sound like some 40-year-old man that's gone through that's gone through a divorce, and then on the other hand then he'll be talking about bionicles and having an entire bionicle collection and you know uh yeah, and still kind of and still just as passionate about that and all that stuff. So it's um like a good example being like a good back-to-back example of that is that when I did do the Florida trip with Caleb, he brought his stuff with him so he could do his stream highlights videos. So he showed up to the hotel room, and half the hotel room was filled with his film equipment and his toys. So that's like kind of on a thing, and he spent like kind of like an evening. He kind of stayed back to kind of finish up the video and get it edited. And while he was editing the video, like the second he stopped filming his toys, he turns on like a finance podcast, like the type of podcast that like like most people in their 20s wouldn't even listen to, like you start listening to when you're in 30s. So it's just kind of funny to me because it's just like just on one hand it's just it's just like the direct you know yeah, it's just it's really
He's
funny.
like a 7-year-old and a 4-year-old man all in
Yeah,
one.
yeah, it's I mean it's hilarious. I think it's great. Yeah, I'm not criticizing him for that at all. It's just it's one of the quirks I always pick out with him.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah,
Alright, I'm probably gonna have to get going. I'll probably play like 3 more.
yeah. Fair,
But
fair enough.
while I'm still here, might as well ask some questions.
Yeah, sure.
So, in the Discord server, what is
Hello.
jump in Dodge. Hold on. Merch releases. That's what what is that?
Okay, yeah. So the Kaishim stuff, like there's a lot of things going on there, which like not all of the project stuff is begun. It's not all ready to be talked about, but there are some plans of having
Right.
things like obviously we're going to be doing the general hey, buy a t-shirt type of meme, because I mean like if you're a company that has online presence, I mean what company doesn't sell a t-shirt? It's you gotta buy your iconic
Right.
Tobuscus logo t-shirt and all that stuff. So yeah, that like whole entire Kai's channel, like it's going to be a little bit of time before it kind of like probably it's like probably not next week, maybe the week after, like we'll start dropping some talking about the certain things like um for it, like there's like funny enough there's actually I'm trying to think of it. Actually, nah, I can't say that part. That part that's a little too early. But yeah, so there's That we do also have like kind of like some other things too, like for blog stuff. Like there's one thing that's kind of like a little weird, but it's just how things are. Is that well, there's two things. Number one is that well, it's worth also noting too, like the way that the um that this stuff is set up is that the Kaiji company thing, like there's certain things that like that whole entire site is like more tailored towards kind of like working with like a lot of the online presence on that whole side is tailored towards doing business with other people, while the online presence on the Keypunk side is more so trying to make stuff that people basically just like randos on the internet actually want to interact with. The good way of describing it is like is that if most game companies, online presence, like while good in a business environment, feels too much of like, hey, buy our product, buy our thing, and it's not actually something that, if I only knew about, like even Nintendo from their like, Facebook page, like I would not be a Nintendo fan, because they don't really do anything for social media stuff for me to be a fan of, you know.
Right.
But at the same time, though, if like Nintendo was out there making videos like internet historian videos or Justin Wang videos or crazy online content that that goes pretty out there with with things.
I mean, they already are doing that.
I mean, kind of a little bit, but even then, if you do this type of stuff that like the internet actually really wants to engage with, like best way to describe it is it's like um if you can't be sterile for the online audience, because if you're sterile, then it's basically there's really nothing for them to really click with. But if it's a but if you go to if you're too wild, might scare you might go a little bit scaring away the business type people, making a so like having having the Q Punk sub brand, like the idea with that one is that it's like a little lets things be a little bit looser, and it's for lack of a better term it's more informal in the sense that certain things that Q Punks is going to do, like Kaij isn't really going to talk about because like it's not well, I'm trying to think of a good way to describe it. Well, basically the long story short, like online audience growth, Qpunks is going to be able to, what Qpunks is doing will grow it differently than how Kaige is doing it. So it's worth doing those, doing the Qpunks sub project underneath the company to kind of, give it Qpunks a boost from a different angle than like the angles it's only doing. But anyway, that was kind of rambly. Sorry about that. But point being is that um there's certain things like like blog type related stuff and and that's kind of written, and the blog stuff is kind of more so tailored towards that that type of crowd of the business type people for that one, because there's this weird service right now. Like I honestly still don't really get it myself, but more or less people are there's like a it's like a Patreon type service where people, where business people are willing to actually paid money to read articles from people individually that are written about certain subjects, and we have plans on starting that one of those up because a lot of the text-based stuff, it's really changing right now, and if you're a voice in there that basically it's talking like oh yeah, you know what you're doing, which
So it's
people
like
listen.
only for articles.
Yeah, it's like articles, and it's like I guess a good way to describe it is it's like it's like, I mean, it might be kind of important, but it's like I don't know. I guess a good way to describe it is kind of like I still very like me personally, like I still have very much like a mind of like a teenager and all that type of stuff. Like my teenager and my interests, are more aligned in that direction. So like the whole article thing there, it's they're definitely important and all that type of stuff and entertaining, but the subject matter stuff though, like it's going to be different subject matter than the Q Punk's subject matter stuff because kind of thinking about it, I'm like, okay, the if Kaishim is doing an article talking about like say the whole entire NFT situation right now, like that's going to be that's a valuable thing to write, and people would be really interested in knowing what's going on with all that stuff, and we have um, people on board who are qualified enough to actually talk about all that there. But at the same time though, it's like unless if you're like somebody who's like 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 unless if you're a specific type of like 13-year-old, um like there's a good chance that you're not going to sit down and read that whole entire thing. It's like
Yeah.
you're going to kind of be more big chungus mode. So it's like, so in that sense, it's kind of like, okay, if you're just kind of on the internet who's not, like somebody who's not trying to do the hustle and do more so who's just trying to have fun. It's like he's somebody who just wants to look at big chungus memes or something like that. It's like what online presence would appeal to that crowd. So then that's like the key punk stuff is kind of more so appealing to that. So
All right, on to the next question.
Yeah.
So 1, what happened to your Bionicle stuff, and 2, do you still build?
I don't build that often. I build periodically. I still have all my Bionicles in my bedroom. Like, I have a huge shelf on my wall that takes up like, I'd probably say a fourth of my room, still filled with my entire collection. So, I mean, even my office, like I have 2 Tahumatas, so, and I have like my second Tahumata, uh, you know, uh, sitting on my desk next to my Sonic action figures and my unopened Pyroc Va. So, there's definitely still love for the Bionicles. The building, I'm not as frequent of a builder. And as for the Bionicle stuff, are you talking about content or what?
I'm just talking about like yeah, I was basically saying, do you still have your Bionicle?
Oh yeah, no, it's
Because I think you've made it clear about the content.
yeah, I'm not yeah, it's like regardless on if or if not, I make a you know like even if I like get in a situation where I never make a another Larnuu video randomly all of a sudden, like at the very least I'm like if I the only reason why I would get rid of my Bionicle collection is if I was in like some sort of drastic situation where it's like, okay, yeah, I need a I need to move, make like some like big move around the across the world, and I can't take all my stuff with me, so I need to downsize on my possessions. That would be the only thing, but even then, like within like the collection of collectibles that I would actually want to hold on still to. The Bionicles definitely rank really high in there.
All right. Do you still collect action figures?
Oh yeah, no, totally. It's like I don't like I'm not I haven't been keeping up as much with kind of more of like Japanese brands like I used to. When I was around like I'd say like 16 or so, like SH Figure Arts
Yeah.
was like and Figmas were like the big thing that I would collect, um but I just I don't know, I haven't seen I haven't seen too many of them recently that from something that I would want to get. Outside of Dragon Ball, but at the same time, I kind of also mentally kind of told myself, okay, yeah, you have enough Dragon Ball stuff. You don't need to buy another Dragon Ball action figure.
Yeah. Right now at like Target and Walmart, there's some really good modern Sonic action figures.
Oh yeah, no, it's like I've been like that's actually the main thing I've been collecting right now. I don't have like all of the characters, but I've been like collecting the current 4-inch line right now. Mostly aimed for things that I didn't own ever before. Like a good example being, I never owned any version of Dr. Eggman or Robotnik, so I picked up the classic Robotnik figure that they did, and I'm really happy with that one. Uh, I'll also I was really happy that they did build that one, make that one Robot Sonic from Sonic 2. That's like the boss in the final zone because
Oh yeah,
it's
Mecha Sonic.
yeah, it's such an obscure boss to put there. But I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. I'm definitely buying that one. Uh,
Yeah.
Even
Also,
the scale is completely wrong compared to the other 4-inch figures. But because they made like classic Sonic and Mighty so huge,
yeah.
but I'm okay with that because I have like the Jazzware series for like 3-inch classic Sonic and Tails, so it's like so like all my classic Sonic figures scale out right nicely. But um, but for modern Sonic figures, like I went after like outside of getting modern the newest modern Sonic, like I just made sure to have um I went after buying characters that I didn't have figures of before. So like I got never had Supersonic, got Supersonic. Never had an Amy, got Amy. Never had Metal Sonic, got Metal Sonic. You know, that type of stuff.
Yeah, I've also been collecting those, but I've been collecting pretty much everything. Because I like the tiny minifigures, the 2.5 inch. I
Yeah,
especially like the Moto Bug.
yeah.
But the
I got the Moto.
plastic figures,
Oh, sorry. What? What was it?
nah, because I was gonna say I don't really like the classic ones, but I kind of gotta buy them because just like the previous line with Jazzwares, they're gonna jack up in price.
Yeah, it's like the secondhand like collectible market stuff for like those figures. It's ridiculous. It's like I still have like a pretty like decently good condition that like good enough that I could probably um you know um mark probably label as brand new on eBay. But like yeah, I have like a 3-inch Jazzwares Classic Sonic. I mean not Classic Sonic. I mean I do have one of those, but I have a 3-inch Jazzwares Modern Sonic, and those things they're like $100 a pop for those guys if they're not broken, and having one of those around like that's an investment sitting on the shelf.
You got out.
Oh, basically I was saying is I have a 3-inch Jazzwares Modern Sonic,
Oh, let
and
me hang up.
okay, hopefully it's not my mic messing up.
Hello.
Yep.
All right, there we go.
Yeah. So what I was saying is I have a 3-inch Jazzwares Modern Sonic out there, but it's not a. I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. It's like like those things like online if you want to try to buy one that even it's out of the box but not broken. Like those things are like $100 a pop. So
Yeah, I know.
yeah,
The Jazzware prices are crazy.
yeah. The one Jazzware series of figures I never got that I am still kind of kicking myself for. I I really wish I got the Chaotix, like the Jazzwares Chaotix, because they're legitimately like the Chaotix are some of my favorite Sonic characters. I'd probably say like outside of like pretty much like the the mainstays of the series that are always there, like your Tails, your Sonic, your Knuckles, your Eggman, your Amy, even Shadow, like outside of those types of characters. um Vector, Charmy, and Espio are are my favorites out of that bunch. Hello.
There we go.
Yep. Anyway, yeah, what I was saying is that what I was saying is that the Chaotix are some of my favorite characters, and I kind of kicking myself for not ever getting the Jazzwares Chaotix.
Yeah, it's weird because like the Jazzwares figures kind of cool. Like I should probably just get Sonic. That's probably why it's so expensive. And I was like, yikes.
Mhm.
So I bought a lot of like some Jazzwares. They weren't like all broken, but some were broken.
Mhm.
And they had Big the Cat and like a completely ripped apart SPO and like a Vector with like a bad leg. And I basically got it for Big. But
Yeah.
even
Is the SPO even salvageable though? Like, could you even like glue some of the things back together?
I mean, maybe if I had all the parts, but he was like missing a hand and a foot.
Ugh, that
But
sucks.
the good thing is I found a Vector that was missing a leg, but the leg he was missing was on the broken one.
Amazing. Did you do
So
the
I
good
was
old did you do the good old, boil some hot water and, put the figures in it and pull them apart meme?
yeah.
Yeah.
So now basically the only complete Jazz Wars figure I have is the Vector.
Amazing.
He even has his little walkie-talkie.
That's great. Yeah, for me, like the thing I can relate on that one is I actually have the Jazzwares 4-inch modern Sonic figure that was done for Sonic Generations, which was like a pretty obscure figure actually, like in all all things considered. But I got the figure, but when I bought it, like the leg just came broken, and I never got around to getting a replacement one of those. So I had this broken like Sonic for years, and then um when I was in college, there was a bootleg of that figure being sold, so I just bought the bootleg and then just took the legs off the bootleg and put it on the on the official one.
And that's pretty smart.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying though. Now it's like that. Like I kind of wish I bought more of those bootlegs though, because there were a lot more Jazzwares bootlegs back in the day, but now they kind of all disappeared. I don't know what's up with that.
It's probably because they were too complicated. Because like they got a lot of joints and stuff.
Yeah, even then though, it's like I would. Oh, listen. All I'm saying is I'd take a completely scuffed, paint into all the wrong places versions of the Chaotix if if that was the only option available.
Yikes.
Looking like the Harry Potter Obama backpack bootleg.
Oh yeah, the one with Sonic,
Yeah,
Obama, and Harry Potter.
yeah, yeah.
And that's probably
What do you think
like
about the whole like highlighter neon colored wave that they just did for the 4-inch?
all right. So I found the whole wave. I only got Amy because it was like, I mean, I guess I want to be a completionist, but they're ugly,
Yeah,
and the only real useful thing is the Chaos Emerald
yeah.
that comes with Sonic.
And even
I was
then, I feel like the Chaos Emerald figures. It's like you can buy, like, if you want the Chaos Emeralds, you can buy like some like colored rocks somewhere else.
Yeah, but now it's like nabbing at me because I bought Super Shadow. I was thinking about buying Super Sonic, but by the time I decided that he was out of stock,
Yeah.
so now I just got a Super Shadow.
Yeah. I haven't gotten any of the like Shadow Tails and Knuckles. Like I haven't gotten those in the 4-inch wave, but yeah, I have like like I got Jazzwares Knuckles and Shadow, so that's why I didn't do it. And I had classic Jazzwares Tails too, but um. Yeah, I don't know. Like, if I was to grab the figure, it would probably be Tails right now. But Tails is such a frustrating character for me because, like, before, like, basically the 2010s era stuff, like, where I feel like fucking, just like the Pontaff, like, that writing going on. You know, like, I can't remember like what the guy's name is, but the guy who's been writing since Sonic Colors.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's like I really don't like his writing and the direction that like ever since he went on the series, like basically I feel like that they kind of butchered Tails as a character, and which sucks because like as a kid he was my favorite. So he's so kind of like slowly over time, like because of those recent games, like I'm kind of become more indifferent to the character. Like I don't hate the character, but like before it was like like he was like by far like my definitive favorite character, and then then I got it, and then he got run to the point where it's just indifference, and yeah, but I did want to get like the 4-inch tails figure, but though but I didn't want to get the spinny tail because I didn't like how the mold looked. But trying to find the right version on eBay, man, the scalping ain't good.
You should have checked Amazon.
Yeah, I tried. I should double check again. Like Amazon's been pretty weird with it because it wasn't until like pretty recently that Amazon decided to actually start listening to 4-inch wave. Like I remember when I picked up Metal Sonic, there were no listings on Amazon at all for it, and I had to get the figure off of Walmart. But then weirdly enough, like this most recent wave, like around the time that like this most recent wave happened, like they started listing Mighty on Amazon.
Yeah, I think he was a part of the. Yeah, he was a part of the re-releases with Megasonic.
Yeah. Yeah, I should probably get I should probably get another Mighty figure, but I've got because because he was so heavy, he actually fell off my shelf, and then and the way he fell, he broke his arm. So I probably should get a replacement. Yeah,
Dang.
yeah.
Alright, it's gonna be my last match, and then I'm gonna.
Fair enough.
This.
I was holding out for Kayla, but I don't think he's gonna make it. It's been like 2.5 hours.
He's probably playing with Bionicles.
Actually, I think he said he was at D&D. Yeah, he's doing Dungeons and Dragons right now.
He does D&D.
Yeah, he does it with his cousin and his friends.
Mm.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to Jazzwares.
Yeah.
I heard the classic Jazzwares. They scale with the Jack's 4-inch.
Yeah, I've seen that a little bit. It's like my thing with it is like the Jazzware is like while I did think the figures are very good, I don't really like the amount of segmentation that they kind of have through the amount of joints that they have on there. It's one of the reasons why I was happy that the 4-inch figures were being made because they have articulation, but it doesn't get in the way too much of the sculpts. But I really don't like I don't like how the legs are connected on the Jax figures for some reason. I know it's like the most nitpicky thing out there, but it's enough for me to just kind of be like, maybe I'll pass. If I do grab one of the Jax figures, I'll probably grab silver.
All right, they're gonna release a silver because I got the 2.5-inch.
Are they going to do a 4-inch silver?
Yeah, or
Okay,
at
then,
least the leakers say.
then I'll hold out on that. It was so frustrating, trying to keep up to see like when Amy was going to show up. It's really frustrating.
Yeah, I was surprised when I found her at Target.
Yeah, like I actually, I actually paid a reseller for her, and my logic on that one is like, look, I've been kind of collecting these things pretty consistently, and if it's a little bit more expensive than the other ones, you're literally like, given that Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles are looking like that right now, you're not going to be buying another. You're not going to be buying another one of these in a little bit, so it's okay if you pay a little extra right now.
Yikes!
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised how much I've founded the newest wave because usually it's like every like 3 targets out of 7.
Yeah, one of my big issues is the fact that I just kind of don't, since getting out of college, like I don't leave the house enough to really, it's just like I don't know. It's just like like the nearest target that's near me is just like I have to drive over a mountain to get there, so I don't really feel like so I don't really feel like every day checking my local Target for it, but Walmart never sells anything good, so um,
Yeah, I heard Walmart's gonna start selling it because I've seen some. Because I know they have the Mario and they're starting to stock Sonic, but they haven't stocked the 4-inch Sonic yet.
Walmart has been like, I have a bad experience with buying stuff like that from Walmart. Like if I'm going to Walmart, it's really just gonna be for food and clothes. Like in terms of like all that other stuff, like like whenever I bought a game, like when I was a kid from Walmart, like during the Wii era, like the discs would always just never work for some reason, and it's specifically Walmart discs, and it was the weirdest thing, but. Uh, but then also going to like the collection stuff, like back when like even Hero Factory was around, like when they did Hero Factory Ordeal of Fire, they actually wouldn't sell any of the heroes in the store.
Really?
Yeah, it was only the villains, and it was just like like a weird like small corner shelf was just all that they had for Hero Factory.
It's weird.
Yeah, and then like
Be-
the stark contrast to Target, where they basically gave like like they gave like half a whole entire aisle to it.
Speaking of Hero Factory and sets around that time, because I was a dumb piss baby,
Mhm.
all I really had of Lego was Duplo.
Yeah.
And again, giving you a sense of how old I am.
Well, honestly, like if you have a lot of Duplo, to hold on to every single one of your Duplo piece things, because those things are pretty damn expensive, but pretty useful. Like like it sounds stupid, but actually, like when I was because like at some point I would like to get into doing like more mocking stuff, but it's just like I have so much going on that I don't know when I'll be able to actually things calms down so I can actually start doing Lego stuff again. But when but yeah, like I wanted to I was thinking, oh yeah, I want to try to start like build some things that I could take to a convention, like maybe having like some natural landscape type setups for something. Like if I did like a like a battlefield or something like that, or a castle, I would need to build like a lot of natural terrain around it. But if I was going to do that, the amount of bricks you do for that type of stuff, it's such a waste, because it's like
Yeah, and
Duplo.
Duplo cuts that down a lot.
Yeah, but I didn't know
That's
where.
like
I thought I lost all of them, but then when I found them in a box, I was like, yes, I found I found the blocks I chewed on when I was 3.
I really wish someone had said to keep all my Duplo because it's all gone.
Oh no. There's one.
But alright, continue.
I was gonna say there was a one Duplo brick that was weird because it was like the old Lego chrome piece. Then it was a 2x4 brick that was just like old classic Lego chrome. And I had that. I don't know where that piece is anymore. Even then, it's like the chrome is all off on it. But it was it was kind of cool. But it was also feels a little bit like like why would they even make this shit?
Yeah, this is a little weird. But anyways, back to what I was saying.
Mm.
I feel like in the 2000s they had like Atlantic. They had what's that alien theme? Mars.
Uh, were you thinking of Space Police, or Mars Invasion? Or
Both actually.
yeah,
Because I think Space Police is also really cool.
yeah,
Because I remember when I was young, I bought the one with the 4-armed green alien. I bought that set,
yeah,
and it's like one of my favorite sets.
yeah. I like let's see. Yeah, I do like a lot of the space sets. Honestly, I mean, I know it's kind of a little ridiculous, to saying this, as like 20 something, but though it's like, I really like it does bother me that like that Lego really doesn't embrace their like old classic IP as much as they used to. Like I'm tired that anything that's for kind of like the AFOL demographic gets kind of more kind of like either some like really advanced Technic set or a licensed set. You know,
Yeah.
I kind of miss I yeah, and then for like the the other sets that are kind of like the more journal age themed sets, they um I mean there's some good ones, but I feel like there are too many themes try to
Oh,
become.
he's getting on.
Oh
I
no,
just saw
yes,
the little icon
amazing. But yeah, I feel like
right
too
as I was about to leave.
amazing. But yeah, I feel like too many themes are
I
trying
mean,
to
I
be
guess I could stay on for a few more.
yeah. I mean, I'm probably gonna stay on for a few matches too. I'll probably actually just end this recording thing and then just set up another one. Just call it just make another late night just stream and make something that would might actually be used. I don't know. I rambled too much on this thing, so I think this is going unlisted. Um, but yeah, what should we call it?